Chief of this, who dishes out this, is Bayo Onanuga, President Buhari's media, President Tinubu's media advisor. Every time he dishes out ethnic bans, targeting a specific section of the country, the Igbos. So why some persons who are perhaps of Yoruba extraction thought that they were only going for the Igbos? Some of them were shocked when they were protesting in Songo, and someone was asking them why they were not protesting in Ota. What Nigeria experienced under military regime is dictatorship, and what we're experiencing under Tinubu's regime is equally civilian dictatorship.
It is now obvious that this thing that is going on in Nigeria right now, this tribal bigotry, tribal war, is not ordinary. It's definitely political motivated, yes. Because people thought that these people are only going after Igbo. So since it's after Igbos, there's no problem. Everyone have to move on because Igbos, they are used to all this intimidation and all that. But right now, the case is different. Yes, even Yorubas is against Yorubas. Yes, just as this man is saying here, that during the end bad governance, like if you are not from Lagos, you don't have any right to protest in Lagos. I have to ask you to go back to your state. Maybe you are from Ogun State or Osun State, then you have to go back to your state to protest because you don't have any right to protest in Lagos. So these people are not just going after Igbos, they are going after their own tribe. And time will come when somebody from Osun State don't have any right to do anything in Lagos, because we have kept quiet for so long, thinking that these people, they are only after Igbos. Time will come when it will get to everyone, and it has already started, my people. This is the reason why when you see something like this happening, it is our duty to start shouting, despite the tribe they are after or they are against, because you never know who is going to be the next victim. Yes, my people, like what is going on right now, especially after this 2023 election, the level of division in Nigeria, I have never seen it in Nigeria before. Even Nigerians outside Nigeria, they are against each other, my people. Like the level of division, the level of hatred is increasing every day by day. And if we did not do something right now, it will get to a point that like we cannot stop it anymore. So my people, let me allow you guys to listen to this particular group and hear their experience during this end bad governance protest, how Nigeria security agencies abducted them, because this one is not arrest, my people, because there's no way you can arrest somebody at the middle of the night and you will not give the person access to his lawyer or her lawyer. Like a lot is really going on. Just as this man said here, that military regime is far better than what we are practicing right now in Nigeria we call democracy. Let me allow you guys to listen to them and hear what they said in this particular video.
2 a.m. Men who are masked, men who are hooded. I mean, one started banging on my door. I woke up, went to the door, because I had no fear, because I'm not a criminal, I've not committed any crime whatsoever. Of course, I'm a perennial protester. But even on this occasion, for some reason, as even a public advocate, a public, a media person, media personality in my right, who, features on major media, analysis. And as a Chevening scholar, who is a governance and policy expert, for some reason I didn't even accept invitations to do any analysis. But the shock was that despite that, this hooded and what is it called? Masked men, 2 a.m. So I comfortably opened my door. They said, what's the problem? They asked me to identify myself, which I did. 3 other people were with me. They asked, after the first person who was behind me introduced himself, if there were other people. And when they did, I asked them to come out and they identified themselves. And the next thing was that Michael Andalamuyi was asked to step aside. And I said, no, you can't. And they said they want to take him. I said, you can't take him. This is somebody's son. Michael does not live with me permanently. He is a graphic artist he is a DJ. He comes and go. Anytime he's in Abuja, he stays with me. I said, this is somebody's son. How do I explain? First, to my own comrades, and then to the parents of Michael, that by 2 a.m. somebody came to pick him. Do I know if they are a kidnapper or a ritualist? That no, you can't take him. And at that point, they asked her, well, you may need to accompany us. I said, I'm happy to accompany you. Because how do I explain it to his family, to my comrades? And we were taken down, 2 of us initially, were blindfolded immediately. Halfway to where we were going, where they took us to is about 15 minutes to where I live. But halfway, they stopped, and I think they got a directive to go back and take any living thing, anything that breathes in that house. And then 2 other people, Mohsin Sadiq and one other person, were all taken. After the Malolin, just to disorient us about 1 hour for a drive of just less than 15 minutes, they took us somewhere, blindfolded, and were kept in a cold room. And we underwent more than 15 hours of interrogation. We got to where we were going about 3 a.m. after they took us by 2 a.m. And later that same day, at about 6 p.m., they took us to the intelligence response team, a very notorious detention center. I mean, there are people now as old Abattoir in Abuja, where the old SARS, in fact, SARS, in the recent, forget the change of name, were dumped there. And to be fair to the man in charge, he said, well, I didn't arrest you. Those who arrested you only came to dump you here because they don't have a detention facility. And that's where we are. Even my protestation that I am diabetic and I'm potentially hypertensive fell off on deaf ears. I had no access to my medications, no access to my phone, no access to friends, no access to family, no access to a lawyer. And I was kept there from 2 a.m. until the evening of Thursday. Between you and I don't even know why they released me. But I know they chased me out like a dog. Even my insistence that no, I cannot leave these boys here without even letting them know that I'm being let go was refused. So the boys, that moment alone is enough to kill anybody. They said, no, we came together. You mean you are living here without our knowledge? I was denied that opportunity. But something I just want to say, 2 important things that I learned from this experience. First, Nigeria is more divided than we ever thought. We had more than 5 teams over that 16 hours that interrogated us. But the whole of that team is from a particular section of the country. How can you have a national institution and the major people there are from a particular section? And you know the anger. The anger was not that there was protest or some people, there are some miscreants who do not support it, by the way, did certain things. The anger was that it happened in their section of the country. And what that told me is that so if it had happened in any other part of the country, they won't fucking goddamn care. I'm sorry to use that word. They won't care. Which means that particular institution, when there was answers and the state instigated violence, they didn't care. But because on this occasion, it happened in that particular region, that was the anger. And I think that's the anger that they are using against our comrades, Michael Adaramoye and Sadiq Morsi. And it is a shame. And it tells us something that we need to work on the unity of this country. Nigeria is deeply divided than I ever thought. I know we have divisions. We have our cleave lines. But this experience something that Nigeria is more than It's more divided than we ever thought. And it is time for us now to avoid, in order to avoid disaster, to start working on the unity of this country. Secondly, I think under democracy, even if you suspect people of crimes, the democratic and legitimate thing to do is to invite them, not to go and invade them and kidnap them, because that was this state-sponsored kidnap by 2 a.m. We got no invitation, we got no any form of notice, only for the so-called security agencies to invade our apartments by 2 a.m. Okay. So, then there are basic access under international and our laws. Under AJA, you can't interrogate somebody without the person having a lawyer present. We were interrogated for more than 15 hours. There was no lawyer. We were blindfolded. We didn't have access to anybody in the world. For up to now, Sadiq and Michael, they don't have access. Nobody has access to them. They can't call. Nobody can reach them. They don't have direct access to their lawyers. And I'm talking about a facility other than the first 3 days when we are giving some humane treatment, let me in quotes. So after then, they have been on their own. We were on our own. For me to lie down, to get a place to lie down in that detention facility, outside the open place they kept us for the first 3 days, we have to pay. It is that bad. And I think we just need to focus on our administration of justice, system. It is terrible. In there, I found army officers, police officers, who have been denied basic rights. Basic rights. No access to the ward, no access to lawyer, no access to family members. We can't continue like this as a nation, or especially under a democracy. As student leaders, we know the prices we paid for this democracy. It is a shame and a disaster that under the so-called democracy, we have to be subjected to this type of treatment. Not even the military did this for us. They respected our right to protest. They gave us the opportunity to defend ourselves before we were arrested. As a student leader, nobody came to arrest me by 2 a.m. Most importantly, those boys, because of the trauma they are going through, they have health challenges. They need to have access to proper medical care. Then the other point, please, I want to beg the NIA and the NSA and everybody, please stop surveilling us. Leave our phones alone. Leave our laptops alone. Leave our, social media handles alone. Because right now we're under permanent surveillance for doing nothing. And again, we are socialists and we are not ashamed to say it. We know nothing about the Russian flag because the current Russian government is not a socialist government. It's just another capitalist government whose agenda is not in tune with the Russian Revolution led by Lenin and Trotsky. It's not in tune. We are not what is it called? We are not a Putin a Russian or a Putin. We are not Putinistas. We are socialists, and we are not ashamed to say it. And we'll raise a flag of socialism any day, anytime. And you can see our flag here. You can see our flag. We are members of the Committee for Workers in the International. We don't know anything about Russian flag. Lenin does not know anything about it. Sadiq does not know anything about it. And they were never arrested, even on the streets. They were kidnapped, including myself, by 2 a.m. by the NSA through the NIA. Want please to make it very clear. If they are looking for people to rope, it is not us. And most importantly, the demands, our demands are very clear. And the demand of the ENDBAD governance protest is very clear. Stop the madness. No country in the world floats, no same country in the world floats its currency. The American dollar has a margin that it can never fall below. If it does that, there will be massive intervention by the states. The what is it called? The UK pound has a margin it can never fall below. If it does, there will be massive intervention. The EU, the European Union euro, has a margin it can never fall below. If it does, there will be massive intervention. The Japanese yen, the Chinese yuan can never fall below certain margin. If it does, there will be massive intervention. The same people are the ones who say, why not telling us throw your currency to the dogs? And we'll see what has happened. We saw what has happened. It has never been this bad. We know we have never really had good governance in Nigeria, but it has never been this bad. First, you threw our currencies to the dog. Secondly, you remove the so-called phantom, what is it called? Subsidy, phantom. It is now, thank God for the quarrel between them, among themselves. Now we know that the same people who are removing subsidy are the same people who are blending petroleum products in mortar. The same people. And since 1999, they have not been able to fix one refinery despite billions of dollars that has been allocated. These are the critical policies. Education, what we need is not student loan. It's for the state to fund education. Because even Nigerian constitution is very clear and states very clearly that it's the duty of the government to fund education. I therefore want to conclude by saying this. They should stop chasing shadows, face the real issues.
Yes, I think in a lot of ways I can relate with Comrade Sankara's detention ordeal and how they were abducted. And some of the as a matter of fact, I think generally the use of ethnicity to divide the oppressed people of Nigeria is a policy of any system that generally is failing and falling. But with the Tinubu's regime, it's actually a state policy. It's a state policy. As a matter of fact, when I was abducted on June 11, in a bid to prevent the June 12 protest, I was with them. And with the Commissioner for Police and several other persons that were imported all the way from Abuja down to the state command. You know, and the question they were asking is why am I not protesting in my village? That why must I come to protest in Lagos? My village is in Ogun State, so say why am I not going there to go and protest in my village? And the funniest thing is that even during the ENDBAD governance protest, you know, there are people who organize themselves in Songo, protesters who are protesting in Songo, and police officers led by I think the DPO around that area, you know, came there to disrupt the protest with the argument that why are they indigenous of Songo? Why are they not protesting in Ota where they came from? Like that is how bad. So that we can't so that we won't think that this is actually ordinary people that are divided. No, this is a deliberate attempt to divide ordinary people across ethnic lines. As a matter of fact, this ENDBAD governance protest, Nigerians unite from all walks of life in protest. So Nigerians fundamentally are not divided. It is a state policy to divide us, to present a narrative that Nigerians are divided along ethnic lines. And the chief of this, who dishes out this, is Bayo Onanuga, President Buhari's President Tinubu's media advisor. Every time he dishes out ethnic bans targeting a specific section of the country, the Igbos. So why some persons who are perhaps of Yoruba extraction thought that they were only going for the Igbos? Some of them were shocked when they were protesting in Songo, and someone was asking them why they were not protesting in Ota. So I think the government of Tinubu is no doubt self-recognized as already a failing government, and that's the reason it is practically grasping at straws, because there were 15 demands. There was no single aspect of the demands that was even demanding the president's removal. Not that I am opposed to it, you understand, but there was no single part of the 15 points demand that stated that, oh, President Tinubu, you have to be removed. You understand? But even this so-called fear or propaganda spread around the possibility of a military dictatorship that the presidency had been selling to some of his media personnel. You know, the activities and actions of the government continues to justify people who have been saying that a military government is no different from what we are experiencing under civilian dictatorship, because on the final analysis, what Nigeria experienced under military regime is dictatorship, and what we are experiencing under Tinubu's regime is equally civilian dictatorship. In as much as, to be clear, some of us, as a matter of fact, as an ideological policy and in practice, we are vehemently opposed to military dictatorship, and we would fight it with everything we have. But we are also insisting that the Tinubu government have displayed characters of dictatorship, and that isn't different, fundamentally different from a military regime. And perhaps he has even done worse. He has abducted protesters, hounded after journalists, repressive of free press. There is nothing the military government have done that President Tinubu has not done in multiple fold. As a matter of fact, the government of Tinubu does not arrest critics. He abducts them, including their loved ones. When I was arrested, or when I was abducted in June 11, they went first after someone very close to me. She was abducted in the middle of the night, just in a bid to force me out. So these are the characters we are dealing with. But at any rate, what we are saying clearly is that rather than going after government critics and those who are expressing their fundamental right to dissent, those who are calling for good governance, rather than going after them, I think it is much more helpful for the government of Tinubu to actually focus on the demands, the issues that have sparked the protest in the first instance. And what are these issues? It is that Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Nigerians cannot even afford to eat, even just for a day. Nigerians don't have jobs. Thousands of youths are unemployed. Thousands of youths are dropping out of school due to wave of fee increments. Cost of petrol and energy is high and unaffordable. And this and many more of his policies have led to biting inflation. What we are saying is that workers' salaries, their wage is no longer sufficient to take them home. Are this too much to ask for? Is it a crime to seek good governance? It is unfortunate that we have a regime that have equated the call for good governance to terrorism. We are trending as the Nigerian state is teetering around the abyss of a dangerous is walking a dangerous path. If we can degenerate as a country to a situation where we equate constitutional and peaceful dissent to terrorism and treason, I think Nigeria is heading towards fascism, and this is a call for people of good conscience, the Nigerian people, and the citizens of the world to resist Tinubu's jackboot absolutism, because that is exactly what I call it, because it's really fundamentally not different from what the military junta did. Michael Leyen has not committed an offence. The over 124 protesters, including minors, that were remanded in Abuja have not committed an offence. Thousands of protesters remanded across different prisons across the country, including in Kano, have not committed a single offence, and we are demanding their immediate and unconditional release. Thank you.
So my people, that is it. Like indeed, this government need to stop chasing shadow and face the real issues. The energy, the resources they are using to adopt Nigerians or arrest Nigeria, they can use it to go after the bandits, the kidnappers, like all the insecurity that is going on all over Nigeria. What are they doing about it, my people? Enough is enough, because Nigerians cannot continue like this. So my people, I would love you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about what they said here? Please, if today is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye for now.
Welcome to Shamra Senior